Hello and welcome. It's time once again to try to fix something. And today on the workbench I'm working on another PS4 FAT. Now this particular one is supposed to be a no video, or some people call it a white light of death. And I've bought those before, but this particular one's a little bit different in that the seller has admitted he has worked on it. Actually worked on it quite a bit according to the eBay listing. I believe it said he had replaced the HDMI port and the encoder IC, and still had no video. Apparently it gets a white light, but has no video. So I don't normally I would not want to buy something that had been worked on before, but my curiosity got the better of me. Just wondering, what did the seller miss? Because, usually no video problems are reasonably simple on these things. Normally it's either the port or the encoder IC, 99% of the time. So my curiosity got the better of me, so I said, I'm just going to buy it, and let's just see what he missed, what went wrong. So let me go ahead and, I've got it hooked up. Let's go ahead and turn it on and just confirm we do get a white light and no video. And then maybe we'll do some checks out here in the garage before we take it apart and take the circuit board inside. Okay, finally. Okay, white light. We do have a white light. We have no signal. I'm going to wiggle this, but it doesn't seem to make any difference. Okay, so that's confirmed. That's the problem. All right, let me, let's see, what do we want to do first? What I'd like to do while it's sitting here on and running, I did finally break down and bought myself another HDMI breakout board to leave out here in the garage, so I don't have to keep running inside and taking the one I have on the workbench in there, and then then I forget and leave it out here. Let's just see what kind of voltages we're looking at on this HDMI port. If I can do this with one hand. I'm not 100% positive I can. But pin 20 should be ground. Now, how can I do this? Do we have 5 volts on pin 18? We do have 5 volts. Okay. What about these other pins? How can I do this? How can I do this? Okay. Yeah, this just isn't working. Not working. We do have the 5 volts. Alright, I'm going to break down and go get the tripod. It's inside, so I got to run inside. Be right back. Don't go anywhere. Alright, I'm back. Let's just see what we have on this port, now that I have both hands. Oops. So, pin 20 is ground. What do we have on pin 1? It is on now, 0.96. Okay, 2 is ground. That looks fine. 4. That's a ground. There's just pin 6. At least I'm seeing some voltage there. That's what I'm wanting to see. There's 0.96. H ground, 9. Okay, that has voltage on it. 10, 12. Okay, that tells me right there that I had voltage on 1 and 3, 4 and 6, 7 and 9, 10 and 12. So all the filters are intact. If those were open, I wouldn't be seeing a voltage there. So the filters are not open. That's not the issue. 3.2 volts on 13, 14 is not connected. 15 is 5 volts. 16 is 5 volts. 17 is ground. 18 is the normal 5 volt supply. And then 19 is a 6. 19 has nothing. I think there should be something on 19. I'm thinking that should be somewhere between 3 and 5 volts. Okay. How about this? How about we'll shut it down. Just gonna hold down the power button. Let it go to sleep or shut it down. And let's switch to diode mode. Haven't used diode mode much in this meter. Okay, I'm gonna let the power down. And I want to see if I get a diode reading on pin 19. Wait, all right, she stopped flashing. She's off now. So, how about red probe on ground, pin 20. If we look at 19, we do have a reading, 0.63, so it's connected to something. The pin's not totally floating, but there was no voltage there. So that looks like, I can't remember, I think there's maybe a Zener protection diode on 19. We'll figure it out when we get inside. But, so the pin's connected to something, but I think there's a resistor or something that's off, or possibly a bad connection on that HDMI encoder, because there's some signal on 19 that's just not there. All right, I'll get it apart and we'll get it inside. All right, we are inside at the workbench and we are ready to take a look at this board under the microscope and see what surprises await us. Let's see. Okay, lots of flux. And that chip is not soldered down very well. Let's take a look at this port. Okay. Looks like everything is soldered down. Trying to make sure I get everything in the shot for you. I personally would like a little more solder on those pins, but I don't doubt they're secure. Let's take a look. Get rid of the fuzz off of my pointer here. Nope, can't get rid of the fuzz. This has got good flow through on those joints, looks like. You know, there. Kind of melted the, what is that, the RJ45 for the Ethernet? Yeah, kind of melted that a little. Surprised that these filters didn't open up, though. They do not like heat. But, yeah, a lot of these joints, get this in focus, on this chip here look a little bit dry. And that may very well be our issue. Not sure how well, let me turn the board a little. Not sure how well that's showing up. Get that in focus. Yeah. The chip's a little offset from the pads, which I've done that too. But a lot of these joints do not look like they've got enough solder on them. And it looks like it's been sanded on. See how the conformal coating is gone? Like they took a fiberglass pin or something to the pads. Okay, let's look at the back of the board. I'm just kind of wondering if there's anything missing back here. Okay. Those resistors are there. They're not open, or they're not gone. They may be open. Okay. I mean, these joints don't look horrible. You know, that one there could use a little more. That one could use a little more solder on it. But no, they're not bad. All right, pin 19. I don't have this memorized. Where is pin 19? Focus, focus, focus. All right. Well, pin 19 is going to be way over here. You can see it right there. And you can see it goes, well, let me tilt the board so you can see it. It goes, focus, focus, focus. It goes to a via down in there. See it? So it goes to the other side of the board, I think, to to a component we were just looking at. Let's go back to the other side of the board. So if I'm not mistaken, it goes right there. That and this resistor, what is that resistor? Let me measure it. I can't remember. I know there are two 2K ohm resistors right here. And I want to say there's a 27K back here somewhere, and there's also like a 22 or something. 22. That's the 22. Okay. And I believe these are 2K. Let me go ahead and measure those. 1.99. 1.99. Those are all good. Pretty sure this diode's good because we read through it when we had the breakout board outside. We read this Zener, through this resistance. So that I'm betting is good. I'm going to guess what's wrong here is this goes back to the other side, doesn't it? This pin, pin 19 is connected here through this resistor, then there's a Zener to ground. Right here, that goes to the IC, to the encoder IC on the other side of the board. And I have a feeling where it connects, it's not getting a connection. Can we see that? I don't recall if we can see it on the other side or not. Let me see. Sorry to keep flipping the board back and forth on you, but it's, the nature of the beast here. So we're going to look for that via just beyond where we see it going through the board on this side of the board. Because I can't remember. Okay, now you can see the via. Let me get it in focus for you. So hard to keep things in focus sometimes. Let's get down in here. All right, let's just do it this way. Okay. You can see the via. Back in that corner is where it goes through the board to the other side. And here it is coming back up to right here. But it's a hidden trace. There's just a ring, a copper ring there. It doesn't actually go to a trace on this side of the board that you can see. It goes to an internal trace, I believe. And I believe it goes to somewhere on this side of this encoder IC. All right, for reference, here's the port, the way I've got the board turned. Here's the port. There's the filters. So the back of the board is this way, that way. So I believe it comes over here, and it may be that one right there. I believe it comes to this side of the board. Okay, so the quickest way to figure that out would be look at another board. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to swap. This is my known good board. This is the working board. And I'm going to use, let me get my, where's my breakout? Sorry. Where's my breakout board? There it is. So let me put my HDMI breakout board in there. Okay, right there. And I'm just going to do a quick check. Let me zoom back out. I'll go to pin 19 on that breakout, and we'll go to that pin right there. Let me switch to continuity mode. Okay. So we're in continuity mode. You can hear that beep when I short the leads. I'm going to put a probe in 19 on the breakout board. We're going to go to right here. Nope, it's not there. Is it here? No. 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 Well, apparently, I don't know where it is then. 19. Am I getting a connection? It's right here. Yep, there's 19. but it's coming through the board. Where does it go? Well, I'll admit that I don't know that. I thought it was right here. Let me just run this probe down through here. Nope. How about down here? I don't think so. I think this is incoming signals from like the processor and whatnot. Down here. Nope. How about this side? Nope. This side? See if I can get that in the shot. Okay. So either it doesn't come to this chip, or I haven't found it yet, or it's through a resistor or something, so it's not enough to beep. I was thinking it was one of these. I was thinking it was on this side of the chip. Okay. All right, let me figure out where it is, and I'll bring you back. All right, I figured out what was going wrong. We did find it. But I was using my Agilent meter that I was using apparently has a threshold of below 20 ohms or below 22 at least before it'll beep. And I was listening for the beep. And of course there's a 22 ohm resistor between pin 19 and and the IC. So we went over it earlier, but now I'm using my Siglant, which has an adjustable beep threshold, and right now it's set for 30 ohms. But let me make sure. So it is right. Is it here? Yep, right there. So that's where pin 19 comes in. This is on my working board, by the way. So it comes in here, and I got a feeling our problem is going to be the connection on that other board right at this IC, because some of the pins did not look very good. So I'm going to guess we'll take a look at that. But that was the deal. My Siglant meter will beep on it, and the Agilent didn't because it was greater than 20 ohms or so. So let's take a look at the board in question right here. If we can take a look at that same area. Oops. If I can hit my microscope. Alrighty. So it's where's my breakout board? So I'm going to put the breakout board in this one. And I'm still using my Siglant benchtop meter. Let's go to pin 19 on the breakout. So it should be coming right there. Yep, it is there. But I got a feeling it's not making it there. But that's the pin in question. Let's take a closer look at that under the microscope, if I can get it in position. So, which pin? It's going to be that one right there. Let me get a pointer and get it in the shot. I apologize. So I believe it's going to be this one right here. Right there. And you can see several of these look dry, but that's going to be our issue. Of course, there is a pad under. Some of these could be making connection with the pad underneath, but anyway, so that's going to be our issue. That's why we didn't have. That's why we could read the diode check. You get a reading because you are connected to the diode, but there's no voltage coming out because that would have been the signal coming out of this pin 19 right here. All right, so I'm going to pull this encoder IC off and like re-tin everything, re-tin the pads. We'll put it back down, and that'll probably fix our issue. Well, here we are back out in the garage. I think we're about ready to test. I removed that Panasonic encoder IC and replaced. That's the same one. I put it back down, so hopefully it's a good one. And I touched up the solder joints, of course, on the HDMI port. I still struggle with the QFN package ICs myself. I'm not an expert on it, but I'm not as scared of them as I used to be. So hopefully we're working. I did do a check with the breakout board inside before I brought it out here, and everything read fine on the breakout. Checking diode check to ground. Let's see what happens, shall we? Yep, I saw the monitor lock. There we go. PlayStation logo. So, the guy was close to getting it fixed, except for pin 19. Maybe. Some of those other, pins on that QFN package did not look that good either. So there could have been other issues that would have kept it from working. But anyway, I think we're going to be good. I appreciate you coming along for this one. Hopefully this will be a somewhat short one. Unlike my last video, this one will be a little more reasonable. If you enjoyed that one, thought it was entertaining or educational, please give me a thumbs up. And I will see you in the very next repair. So long for now.